And now from Sin City, the hottest sports betting show in the nation, Friday Night Locks.
With your hosts, Justin.
But it would be really cute with all that they've gone through to get into the playoffs.
Tanya.
Well, this is a done game.
The Tampa Bay game, you were like.
And Jason.
Gonna shock and amaze you. Ready? Ready for this?
Two dads and a mom that make betting fun. If it's Friday, it's friends, family, football, and Friday Night Locks. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
And welcome back to week 17 of NFL FNL podcast. We are coming to you live from a very hectic post-Christmas week.
From our basement. In Las Vegas, Nevada.
You know that commercial where Southwest says, "Want to get away?"
Yes, I do.
I don't think they really mean that.
No, only when it's actually right. Only when all the pieces fall into
Did anyone
play.
show up to work today for Southwest?
But
I don't think they did.
So they canceled 2,800 flights in the United States across all airlines. 2,600 of those were Southwest flights. So what's going on there? Any theories?
On like a serious note, I think there's like a hierarchy in the sky, and flights like United and American don't, like, they get the like, okay, we're gonna let them go, but like the Spirits, the Frontiers, the Southwests, they gotta ground. Like, that's not happening. So
yeah, just to catch you up on our end here, our lovely family all came here from Colorado, and they all took the time, spent the money, came to enjoy Christmas with our son for the first time ever.
and it was wonderful.
It was wonderful. It was a wonderful Christmas. We all had our matching pajamas. Like, it was awesome. Food every night. Tamales on Christmas Eve. Like, just traditional, amazing. Everyone was going to leave. Last night, we said our goodbyes. Everyone was in bed early. And she comes and grabs me this morning at 6:45 after the boy wakes up and says, they missed their flight. I said, no, they didn't. They would never miss their flight. She said, no, but it has been canceled. And they're upstairs. And they're stuck here for God knows how long.
And the next available flight for them, anything, they bought a United ticket for Thursday.
But their airline told them
wild.
December 31st would be the soonest they
For
could get them
Spirit.
back for Spirit.
Insane.
It seems like a bad setup for a bad comedy or something. Like, you're stuck with your family because all
It's
the flights
planes,
are canceled.
trains, and automobiles.
Right.
We're home alone. Like, what is this?
Exactly.
Sister's like, can we go with the band in a U-Haul
Yeah.
so we can go see Kevin?
Yeah. Where's John Candy? Like, this is crazy.
Luckily for you, your family is very nice. And
Yeah.
hopefully, it'll just be an extended nice holiday. But
Sure.
what a nightmare. And seriously, Southwest, who's getting fired?
Everyone.
I wonder, remember they went on strike a couple years back or something? I wonder if that's happening.
I don't like
because
Southwest.
usually when there's any kind of a panic and people like this are needed, is when they say, okay, I'm going to freeze up this whole system right now. Where's our strike money? Or what, you know what I mean? Like, you've seen that before, right? Like, leverage.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some.
It can't just
Today
be
would a
normal
good day
weather.
to strike.
It can't just be normal weather because Southwest has 85% of the calculations. So they don't have especially bad weather for their flight patterns.
And they're also
everybody
mostly
has bad
West Coast, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's nuts. And then my in-laws, her mother and father are upstairs with their flight delayed 2 hours right now as we speak. And don't know if they're going to get out. All things pointing to yes.
It's United, so I'm hoping.
Knock on wood. But
Yeah.
we're not out of the woods there either.
No, not out of the woods. The good thing for Colorado is that they fired Nathaniel Hackett and they hired Deion Sanders. Obviously, I'm going from pro to college, but good time to be a Colorado football fan.
Right.
I'm looking for silver linings here.
Sure.
That's really,
Sure.
especially when it comes to the state of Colorado right now. That's
Yeah.
a great silver lining.
Yeah.
Well, at times like this, you have to count your blessings and, everybody's warm and safe at your place. And there are families that are sleeping in airport terminals.
I can't even believe that.
And it's an awful situation. And in this country with this kind of airline, who, by the way, they were the first people to get paid when the COVID stimulus checks went out. The airlines got their money first.
Mm-hmm.
and this is how they repay the American consumer. This is a total meltdown to me.
And I didn't think you could price gouge either. Like
heads should roll, and the other airlines are price gouging now.
I don't think
that
that's
should be
cool.
illegal. That should be illegal.
Yeah.
There should be a federal mandate on how high you can charge for a ticket. And obviously, if you need to catch a different flight, then book that flight at a normal rate. And then when that flight's booked, you tell the rest of the world that flight's booked.
Like even
you
if
can't say who's got $2,000 per
200
person.
If they go from 200 to 350 a ticket, like
That's fine.
you're still making a tiny bit of extra, but you're
that's
also
inflation. That's not gouging.
selling out your ticket, like your flights, and that should be enough for them. But instead, they're okay with stranding people.
And your children just snuck out early. Jay barely made it. Woo, sweat off your forehead.
Right under the wire. Right under the international flag. I was telling Jay, so Israel, the country of Israel, does something super cool that I don't know if a lot of other places do. If you're born Jewish in America, Israel extends an invitation that anyone, it's called birthright. So any American Jew that wants to go visit Israel, Israel pays for it.
Unreal.
Yeah, the whole 10-day trip, sightseeing.
What?
International plane tickets.
Full guide, right? Through
hotel accommodations, guides through all the Jerusalem, all the holy sites, also food, everything included. My kids said we want to take advantage. A few of their friends have done it. It's mostly college-age kids who do it.
Yeah.
And I think it's really smart because it leaves people who do this with a good taste in their mouth, hopefully, about Israel, about being Jewish. So I think culturally, politically, it's a really cool opportunity for them. And I always say when opportunity knocks, you should open the door and say yes. And so we dropped them off 2 days ago. Luckily, international, as you said, they just landed there. First, they had to fly to New York. And then they had a 3-hour layover, and I'm watching the Southwest craziness on Twitter going, people are starting to freak out. And all I'm saying to myself is just let them get to Israel because they'll avoid all this crap. And so they landed, thank you. But so they're there. My youngest is with his friend in Santa Barbara visiting. So we have the whole house to ourselves.
Wow.
Empty nesters for 3 whole days.
You'll take it.
Yeah.
So a little taster of the future.
How did Wyatt do with his first Christmas? Did he eat mushed up tamales? Like, what are we talking about here?
He ate like everything, house and home.
Boiled.
He's growing
boiled rotten by his.
The guy has a limitless stomach. Pretty sure. It's like keeps going, and then he's just
yeah.
And now he's down to he just goes,
yeah.
Like he doesn't go wham pound. He just goes,
Right.
keep it coming. What's wrong? Don't look over there. Keep it coming right here.
Don't shut off the gravy train.
Yeah,
Nana doesn't like the mess, so whenever I'm always like, "Do you want to feed him?"
Because we throw the banana down.
We don't throw it down. I'll give him a piece.
We throw the banana down on the tray gently, and he goes.
Eats it all.
And Nana can't. She's like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Literally.
She wants to feed him.
So he's just like this.
And then what was it? Christmas Eve dinner. We had him at the table or Christmas dinner? Christmas dinner. We had him at the table. Nana was over there in the corner. And Tony goes, I'm sorry, Nana. She goes, that's fine. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. I'm not looking over there.
Yeah.
It can get messy, and he'll take a piece of turkey, just chuck it on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm done with that.
It's like the splash zone at SeaWorld. Yeah. You can't be in the front row for that.
But we made a joke that when we woke up today, he'd walk upstairs, or we'd take him upstairs, and he'd walk around. We'd set him down, and he would walk down all the hallways and go, "Where'd everyone go?" Because he does that after a lot. Every day he's waking up, and the house is full of smiles and love and. And so luckily he's got 2 more days of it, but unfortunately my sister and brother and the kids are just wanting to get in their beds and making the best out of it. Obviously we're happy to have them, but not under these circumstances. So,
but I will say one thing, going back to Wyatt and his first Christmas, it's so funny. We're like, we're not going to fall into this category. We're not going to. And we got him all of his presents. We wrapped all of his presents. We both know what he got. And of course my family takes years to open up presents because everybody's got to have their spotlight.
That's your mom.
Love it.
Why? I mean, it's fun.
Yeah. That's
it's
great.
entertaining at the end of the day, but what are we thinking, that he's going to stay up for the 4 hours that we're doing this? No. So of course he goes to the bed
We had a
2
wide
hours
break.
into it, or an hour and a half into it. And Justin and I are like, I guess we're opening up his presents. We already know what they are.
We started to, and then Nana said, "No, why break? Like we'll continue
Well, of
this."
course, but there's quite a few presents
We
that
opened a
ended up
couple,
having
for sure.
to open up.
Like,
We were okay, we already know what this is. Yeah, we already know what this is.
Right.
Because he's sleeping. It's just funny, and we fell right into the category.
I love that.
And then the kids opened some of his, which were fun
Yeah,
too.
but I was like, I'll open it.
But the kids were cool. They had their first Christmas of buying gifts.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Really cool.
So like their school did this thing where they like send them shopping.
They accumulate bucks over the past 4 months.
Right. And then the parents give them money. And then the chaperones, teachers, faculty, whatever, doles that out so they can shop with their said amount of money, which also teaches them probably a budget.
Sure.
And then literally puts the change in the envelope and gives it back to the parents and says, here's change, you know. And then you don't know what they got. And they literally said, here, Auntie, here, Uncle, here, Wyatt,
presents.
Mom, Dad, Nana, GP. Like, so it's like, that was their first Christmas of giving.
Yeah.
That's
with
so
their,
cool.
with their hard-earned money, and that was cool too. To get a gift from my nephew was cool. You know what I mean? Like, and my niece.
I've never heard of that. That's amazing. What a great lesson to teach kids of how to shop on a budget, how to work to make the money to buy it, and then also the feeling of being able to give something.
Yeah.
That was like the inside joke when we were doing Hanukkah last week. I kept saying on every night, and you know me, I'll run a joke into the ground. So I had 8 nights to try this joke out, and no one was biting. And I kept saying, "Oh, great! So what'd you guys get us? Oh, you guys like what you got?
Is it coming? Is it just one big one?
Is Amazon delayed? Is this a Southwest issue? I'm not sure. Like,
that's hysterical.
Thank
you guys. We love. You guys are so sweet.
I
Thank
feel
you
like
guys.
so it's a 6-month celebration, so it's coming in summer. So it's halfway between.
It's on the way. It's on the way, Dad.
I'll tell you what's fun for me is I'm such an old veteran to hear you guys say, like, we promised ourselves we weren't going to be these kind of parents, and then you fall into the trap anyway. That is going to happen so many times. I love that, because Carly and I forget where we were, and the kids were super little. And there was some parents who had slightly older kids, and they were giving their kids like French fries and pizza and ice cream. And Carly and I were like, our kids are only going to eat organic kale grown
broccoli
with solar panels, and we're only going to source our things from the most, and fast forward, my kids were raised on French fries and pizza, and we did everything.
Nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All your best laid intentions out the window.
It's absolutely true.
Keep it moving, right? Just
and
keep
you
it
know
moving.
what? At the end of the day, it's so what? Like, I'll take it. You know what I mean? Like,
it's just
spoil them.
We look at each other a lot, and we're like, "Oh, there goes goes that. Might as well just do that."
I mean, I'm not going to let him run the streets. I'm going to teach him.
No, but
I'm not going to. But if I want to spoil him on first Christmas,
so one thing, it says no TV time or no exposure to anything electronic except his toys. Before 18 months. How? Like the TV's on in the background.
I buy more batteries. I bought more batteries in 11 months than I bought in my life.
That's a free babysitter.
Yeah, batteries. Yeah, right.
And then get ready for like the people in your life who don't have kids, and they're going to come over to your house, and your kid's going to be watching like Sesame Street or something, and they're going to look at you like, you guys are awful parents.
Yeah, exactly.
With
I can't believe you let them watch TV.
That judgy wudgy look in their eyes, like
judgy wudgy.
They have no skin in the game, yet they know exactly how you should be parenting. That's the best.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, I think that wherever you are, and however you do things, as long as you're happy
and not stuck at an airport,
so be it. And I feel horrible for
it's terrible.
For our family and all the other families that are watching on the news that are passed out with their children on a terminal floor.
You're so nice.
I just can't imagine.
I'm infuriated for people. I'm livid for people that specifically because 80% of the cancellations are one airline carrier. So it's got to be something more than just, we're snowed out. Like there's something really fishy about
we're
this.
Going to find out. I think it's a money leverage thing.
Yeah, it's a hierarchy in the sky.
I think you're going to hear that, or a hierarchy in the sky. I just hope they got to watch a little Monday Night Football.
Oh, Well, I'm glad you brought it back to football because I'll say we tape on Tuesday, as we've always said. Tonight, the big guaranteed rate bowl. Wisconsin.
Yes, Wisco.
Oklahoma State, Wisconsin favored by 4.
No.
They have a new coach who's actually going to coach them in this game. New coach bounce. New coach bounce.
Why are you shaking your head?
Oh, they're going to blow them out.
Well, at least I'm hoping for Wisco on the money line. Go Badgers. I just want to get
let's
that
go
in.
Badgers. There's no skin in the game. I just think Oak State's going to run them rammed. But it's a guaranteed, what is it?
A guaranteed rate bowl.
Okay, so I guarantee that the rate of Oklahoma State scoring will be at a high rate.
Yeah.
Is that State Farm or something?
I guarantee Oklahoma State will score at a rampant rate.
Yeah, I think OSU's live. But anyway, just go Badgers. It's bowl season. We love college. We love pros. We had another winning weekend on the pod last weekend, thanks to the Moneyline Mama. Jay, you and I split our face off. You won one. I won one. You lost one. I lost one. The kicker, T, you sent us into the winning category. So we were 3-2 last week. We remain 56% on the year, still in the money. And let's keep the good times rolling.
The only thing more fun than watching football is betting on it. Ready to make some cash?
Ladies and gentlemen, lock it up.
And please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're watching, please give us a good old thumbs up and share and tell all your friends and family. And if you're listening on our audio platforms, please
rate and review.
Rate and review.
It's a lot to remember. I know.
Yeah, it is. Jeez, my goodness.
And we thank everybody who has subscribed, and hopefully you're having fun along with us, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, we're getting close to our goal, so thank you for this year, guys. It's getting there. Moneyline Mama.
Moneyline Mama comes.
This is your last Moneyline Mama Moneyline bet of the year.
Wait, this
2022
is the last week before playoffs.
No, this is the last week of 2022. We got one more week.
Oh, of the year. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm missing something.
No, you're usually right, but it's 18 games. They bumped it up, right?
Yeah.
2022 being over Sunday. This is it, Moneyline Mama.
Okay, so I'm just gonna pull the plug right away and go back to the one of your favorites, Jason, the Packers.
Oh yeah, Hey Rod,
as much
resurgent.
as no, let's not talk about. We don't need to talk about him. We still don't like him, but the team, fine. Wisconsin more so than anything. Let's represent Wisconsin. But the Vikings are due to lose. And I think that's just my through line. I feel like, and if the Packers don't win, then they're silly. Just silly. And then if Aaron Rodgers doesn't win, come on.
The Vikings have to, I mean, Jay, what do we like? This is the time, right? Push it all in. Like they can't win. What will it be? 11 in a row? Or no, they lost to Dallas. When did Minnesota lose last? 8 weeks, 6 weeks ago?
But they're getting every break in the book. The ball is just going their way. They shouldn't have won the Giants last week. And
they should have never won that Colts game. Come on, let's talk about that. 33-0.
Listen, if I could catch a plane and bet Green Bay on the money line, but I can't catch a plane right now.
You always say, book me a ticket.
This is a catch a plane must win game.
Yeah, this is a Venmo game at this point. Phone it in.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I think Minnesota has to lose.
And it's a 92% of people are swaying that direction.
The public, yeah. No, it's a must win. Yeah. Packers could make the playoffs. They are
absolutely
in the hunt, as they say. Minnesota has to drop one.
Yeah.
They've already clinched. They're not going to get the seed. I mean, they're not going to get that Philly seed. They have to lose.
They made a deal with the luck gods, and they shouldn't have won half the games that they've won. They just shouldn't.
All by like 3 points or less. The Giants, I played the Giants separately, plus 4.5. They covered, but like every game's 27-24, 21-20. Like it's unbelievable. The luck 9 lives these guys have.
Yeah.
So, anyways, against my will,
I love it.
Major eye roll. I'm going with Green Bay.
I love it. I love the attitude in Aaron Rodgers' like press conferences nowadays. He's like,
Yep.
we're definitely playing better and still got stuff to work on. But I think he's like enjoying himself for once.
He's
So
so annoying.
we'll see. He's right there,
Concur.
dude. He's right there. So
Well, you'll always concur, so that's fine.
Are
Let's
you
go.
are you ready to lock
Lock
it
it
up?
up. Yeah, lock it up.
lock it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, lock it up.
I'm just gonna make this quick, guys, because
Are you?
I have a plane to catch.
Wow. Don't rub it into everybody else.
I'm kidding.
Must be flying United, Gus.
Yeah.
This
You must have spent those ducats.
you must have mileage.
Yeah.
You must be a platinum mileage member. This is the time of year, and Jason, I say this all the time, and you and I briefly talked around Christmas. This is where the teams that have to win are going to win, and then they have to watch the other one scoreboard. Watch, what are they doing? What is who doing? They got to handle their own business first. Then the teams who have clearly given up have clearly given up. And on that note, I just want to say one thing about last Monday night game. The Los Angeles Chargers and the Colts. That line started at 4.5. I played that in Circa at -4.5. And I watched that line go from 3.5 down to 3, back to 3.5, blah, blah, blah. I think it closed at 3.5. Everyone on the radio is saying they were embarrassed by Minnesota. Jeff Saturday's got to get this team. Listen, stop that. They quit. Broncos quit. Everyone's done. They don't want to get injured at this point. They're upset if they have to travel on Christmas. No one wants to do that. They're upset that that game was even scheduled on Christmas, blah, blah, blah. And then what did they do last night? They scored 3 points at home. It's over, guys. But let's concentrate on who needs this. Who needs this? And I got 2 teams that need this. The first team I'm going to start with is the New York Giants. The New York Giants are in the hunt. They have to win both of their games in order to get in. And they're playing those said Colts that I just mentioned. We're probably going to have it's going to be another backup. If they don't decide to go with Nick Foles, and they might start the rookie, they might start Jeff Saturday. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to New York. So again, they've got to get on a plane. If they can get on a plane, and I'm not making funny when I say this, if any of these guys can get on a plane, how did some of these teams get home last night? We don't know because we'll watch SportsCenter or whatever, but they got to go to New York. It's freezing cold in New York, and they don't care. They're 4-10-1, and they clearly do not care. The spread is 5. Some people might say that's a lot. I say against a team who's quit versus a team that has nothing but like this is it for them is the Giants. I think for that reason and for that reason only, and I don't think I need to even elaborate on that. I love the Giants. I know it's 5. Some people might say they don't blow people out, this and that. They're still scoring 20, 24 points a game. I think this is a no-brainer. They're going to be scoreboard watching. They're going to be worrying about, I'm trying to see what time. They're going to be worried about the Commanders who play at the same time they do. So there's going to be some maybe turning the scoreboard off in the stadium, depending on what Dable does. I love the Giants for that reason and that reason only in a desperation must-win situation at home. What do you guys think?
I think when it's in desperation, anything's possible.
You know what I think?
Do you concur?
I think the weather outside is frightful.
Mm-hmm.
The weather outside is cold, but you, my friend, are red hot. And you failed to mention that you went 4-1 in Circa.
Damn.
And you
Lions.
And I think the reason why you went 4-1 is because you're playing the system that you just mentioned of who needs it and who doesn't need it. Also, talk about Olay defense. How about the Colts offensive line with the Olay blocking?
Oh,
how many quarterbacks are they going to send to the showers? They're on their 3rd one now.
Yep. They made LA Chargers look like, the fearsome foursome or something. Like, I don't know what that was.
Who knew Khalil Mack was the defensive player of the year all of a sudden? So, and also the G-Men, one of the best covering teams in the NFL this year, as we've discussed.
We said that last week.
Great pick.
Ladies and gentlemen, lock it up.
Okay, so now there's a couple teams that I'm like, same situation. Who's quitting? Who's not quitting? Who's in it to win it? I got my eye on 2. I got my eye on the Jags-Texans because the Texans just beat the Titans, which catapulted the Jags to now the division leader, and the Jags have a final game against the Titans. probably be for the division. The Titans have dropped 5 in a row. They need the win. Texans just won. They've won 2 games all year. Do they have another one in them? They're in Texas, -4 of the Jags here. But then I got to go back to that NFC East, Commanders, Browns. Heineke's been officially benched. I think Carson Wentz played the rest of that game and probably did okay. I'm kind of thinking like in the Carson Wentz witchiness, he might know this is his last stop as a starter. I mean, he was already kind of benched after his injury, but like the Browns are showing me nothing. They're just blah, 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 running the ball around. And again, they've quit. They're phoning in the Deshaun Watson situation and waiting until next year. And that guy looks like he hasn't played football in 10 years, let alone 2. I just think for some reason, I'm going to take the Commanders at home in a small spread, a small line versus the Jags on the road, even though it's Texas. Didn't like Texas like gives them trouble, and like we've lost a couple circa picks with Jazz and the Texans, I think, in the last year or so.
That's
if I can remember correctly.
And also Jags can't improve their playoff standings. It's all about next week for the Jags. So your motivation system that you're playing this week doesn't favor the Jags necessarily. Right.
And that's what it's like not that it matters because I think Houston just kind of had their season. Woohoo! They're still going to get the number 1 pick in the draft. I just think here the Commanders is a wise selection at home. The defense is pumping. They're getting on all cylinders back from injuries. And I just think that this is one of those situations where Rivera's going to have his team tuned up. Again, scoreboard watching, another home team, NFC East. The Cowboys, we already know where they're at. The Eagles, we already know where they're at. But because of the fast start with the Giants and the pretty decent year that the Commanders have been having, 3 teams could come out of the East and probably will to make the playoffs. So which one is it going to be? So if I'm bird dogging this, I'm looking for a 1-1 at worst case scenario, but I'm not going 0-2. So I'm going to go 1-1. I'll push, I'll lose some juice, or I'm going to bang both bets. And I think I'm going to bang both bets here. I love the Commanders. What do you guys think?
I thought you might go Commanders, much for the same reasons that you picked the Giants. I think again, this is they gotta get it done. They're at home. It's a small point spread, but also one of the things that Carly likes to watch are military homecomings. You know, these things that you can watch on YouTube are
instant cry.
Servicemen and women coming home from serving, and then their families don't know, and they surprise them like, look who's home. And she's just sitting there crying, and she likes it. So one of the other things that I like to watch is the moment when a kid gets drafted into the NFL and he's sitting with all of his family and they go, hey, you're going to and that's kind of like my little thing that I like to watch. So what I watched over last weekend was there was a bunch of videos of coaches telling their players that they made the Pro Bowl. And Ron Rivera, he called in a couple of his players and he acted like something was wrong. He put his head down like this. And he goes, and the players are like, why'd you call me in? I was in a defensive strategy meeting, and now all of a sudden I'm in the head coach's office. Am I in trouble? And his head is down, and he looks up and he goes, congratulations, you made the Pro Bowl. And some of the players started choking up with emotion. No doubt. And one of the players, which relates to your handicap, one of the players says, we would all run through a wall for you, coach.
Wow.
So I love that.
Wow.
So don't think Washington isn't playing their hardest, because they are.
And it's them against their bosses in the ownership. Like, they're on an island, those guys, you know?
Yeah, dude. And second week back for Chase Young. And although we make fun of Carson Wentz on the show quite a bit because, gosh, he's not my favorite quarterback. Everybody knows. But I agree. I like your finishing out the year strong, because maybe he gets traded somewhere else or whatever. Like, he can't do any worse than Heineke. He was a disaster last week. So, and he's got a big arm. And Commanders all the way. Great pick.
Wow. Okay. Well, so I'm going to go right ahead and lock that up. Go Ron Rivera, Riverboat Gambler. Give me the Commanders, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, lock it up.
All right, Jay, we're curious now where your head's at.
Okay.
For final couple weeks of football.
I am so excited about my first pick because for the first time, I have a double like with the Moneyline Mama. And if you don't think I like those vibes, you better try to catch a flight on Southwest today, my friend.
Wow.
Green Bay -3.5. This falls into the desperate category, the motivate. They have to win. It's cold at Lambeau.
In the tundra.
Kirk Cousins is a soft morning dome player. I think that Minnesota has done it all year long with luck and smoke and mirrors, nothing taken away from Justin Jefferson. But Green Bay's, they've been putting together some complete games, meaning offense and defense. You see now Rodgers has built some chemistry with his receivers finally, Watson, and the defense is playing pretty well. I like the way Green Bay's running the ball. So I think Green Bay is going to control this game. I agree with you. You said something last year that's kind of funny, but also maybe a little superstitious and true. Aaron Rodgers, when he gets especially mad halfway through the season, he shaves his facial hair off and he goes, that's it, fresh start. Now, and if you notice, he's not sporting his usual kind of 5 o'clock shadow lately. His face is fairly clean. So I'm going with the double like Moneyline Mama. I'm going Aaron clean face Rodgers. I'll lay the 3.5, and I think Kirk Cousins turns into a pumpkin, and I think Green Bay gets it done here. What do you guys think? Well, I know you.
Yeah, you know what I think.
I love it. I think exactly for all those reasons. And I, as I said, I think they're having a good time. I can't think of the last time you've bet. I was just trying to run in my head that you've used Green Bay, even in Circa.
Yeah.
And so for you to come in that, and for Tanya to come in that, like they're rolling right now, and Minnesota cannot win another game. I just take my money.
Really?
Take it.
All right. Well, if you guys are in agreement, I'm going to lock that up.
Ladies and gentlemen, lock it up.
Okay. For my second pick, I really wanted to take my boy Teddy Two Gloves this week, but whatever. I'm off that game.
That's so awful.
So I am going to segue into my own backyard at beautiful SoFi Stadium here in sunny Southern California. Yeah. And for week 17, I am going to go with Justin's favorite quarterback, Baker Mayfield and the LA Rams.
Shake and bake.
And they're getting 6.5 points. They share home field with the Chargers, so there's no advantage there to me. Also, I feel like the Chargers won a big game. They got into the playoffs, champagne. They're on a high.
They can't change their position, right? Like they're just a wild card.
They can. They're not unmotivated. But here's my handicap. Cam Akers has been running the ball really well, and Baker Mayfield and Sean McVay seem to be on the same page. And I don't love Baker, but in this Rams uniform, he looks good. They hung.
Akers had 3 TDs.
They hung 51 on the Broncos, who don't have a pushover defense. And I don't know. I like the Rams to cover this number. I think the Rams are feisty. I think maybe the Rams on the money line. I think the chemistry between Baker and Van Jefferson is real. And I think even though they don't have Aaron Donald on defense, I think their defense is still getting after quarterbacks. And I think the Colts had the ability to make the Chargers look better than they are. And I would feel like a little bit of regression from the Chargers, or maybe the Chargers win by 3, 4, 5, but not 6.5. And give me those Rams. What do you think?
Plus 240 on your money line, by the way, if you so choose to do so. I think that the one thing that they're saying about the Chargers is like Mike Williams and Keenan Allen are both back for the first time. Keenan Allen's unreal, but like Williams is back and healthy. And I've said this a million times. Eckler is a fantasy running back dream. The guy touches the ball all the time, and they don't beat people. They beat people, but they don't blow people out. So 6.5 is a lot of lumber.
T, what do you think? You like the Rams?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Yeah.
I think both of your picks this week are not as risky as they
Short week. I mean, it depends on, like you said, how motivated they are for their positioning. Maybe they have a strategy like I'd rather play Buffalo than Kansas City or whatever they're thinking there. But
look, my favorite cornerback in the whole NFL is Jalen Ramsey. And I just don't think the Colts have anyone named close to Jalen Ramsey on their team. So they let Herbert throw. And they only put up 20 points against the Colts. It's not like they blew them out.
Well, the Colts were playing very good in the beginning, and then they just kind of let the hammer drop, I guess you could say. I like your pick.
I think Baker's in the same spot that Carson Wentz is in. Like if he finishes the season strong, maybe another team, or maybe he stays on the Rams and they get rid of Stafford. But either way, there's a lot there. And give me the Rams. I'm going to lock that up.
Ladies and gentlemen, lock it up.
Okay, week 17 on today's FNL. Moneyline Mama T says, take Aaron Cleanface Rodgers at home back against the wall. Green Bay minus 175 on that money line. Justin says, take those New York G-Men minus 4.5 at home. And he also likes another home favorite, the Washington Commanders minus 2. I also like Green Bay at home minus 3.5. And I will take those LA Rams as a live dog plus 6.5 in SoFi. And that's our show.
I love it. I love it. Well, I wish I had a lot to cheers about, but these flights and people not being able to get home to their families kind of saddening. But I will think.
Well, and the weather too is just
it's
hurting people.
It's hurting a lot of people out there. So my cheers, I guess, is going to be more of a prayer for everyone to be home, back in their own beds, safe with their families, and even when they do get on their flights in a day, 2 days, a week, or whatever, that hopefully that they fly safe, get home.
Have a happy new year.
Batten up the hatches and start the year fresh. So for that, for every reason, obviously beat the book. Do what you got to do. Gamble responsibly or don't. It's your cash. Do what you got to do. But for everyone out there, we all had a Merry Christmas and a Happy Hanukkah. I hope you did too. And we will see you in 2023. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you for supporting Friday Night Locks by clicking the like and subscribe button and leaving us a review. Thanks again for tuning in, and see you all next week. Good luck at the book.